So welcome back to Wildcat Chats. I'm your host, Natalie Noury, and today I'm joined by a member of the UNH women's basketball team, Faith Bonett. Faith, thank you for sitting down and talking with me today. I'm very excited for our conversation.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So where exactly are you calling from today?
I'm in Brigantine, New Jersey, so it's down the shore, Jersey Shore, but I'm from Morristown, New Jersey, so it's about like an hour and a half difference away from where I've been like during quarantine and everything.
Right. So how exactly has your summer been since going home from campus in March?
It's been really weird. We haven't been able to do much because New Jersey was really, really strict towards the beginning of everything. So like pretty much everything is still closed right now. They just opened up the shore, I think 2 weeks ago. So this is my first time down here for the summer, which is really nice. But yeah, I honestly haven't been able to do much. Like gyms aren't open, like food places close at like 8 o'clock. So there isn't really much of anything to do other than just stay home, which is like what they're trying to make us do. So I mean, it's working.
Right.
Yeah.
So with UNH not having any summer programs or camps, I'm sure that alters your summer plans, knowing that you don't have to come back up to New Hampshire this summer. So what exactly do you have planned for the rest of the summer?
Well, we usually would go up for the month of July. So right now I would just be like at home like I am. But we haven't really had any new plans go in for like that month that I would be at school. So, I mean, as things slowly start to open up, I think June 27th, things will like open up more in New Jersey. So we're hoping that we can like maybe plan another beach trip or like start going to the movie theaters and stuff like that. That would be nice. There's like a really cool drive-in movie theater near our house, or it's like an hour away, so it's not too far, but hopefully that will open up and everything. So we're just looking forward to like getting out and doing stuff and just like being able to go to dinner and things like that. Yeah.
Right. Return to somewhat kind of a normal state. So
Exactly.
what have you been doing with the absence of basketball? What have you been doing to stay in shape or stay active?
Mostly just doing workouts that were sent through our, I was about to say athletic trainer, through our strength coaches. Those have been really helpful, especially for me, because I tore my ACL freshman year. So I've been like doing like the set ones, and then I get like extra stuff that I can do just to like strengthen my quads and my hamstrings and stuff like that. So just lots of at-home workouts, just like body weight and whatever weights I can find in the house. I use like different like canned goods and stuff like that, just like trying to like add like a few pounds to like a backpack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I'll like go to the park and like do running things, like since there's a soccer field and stuff there, like running workouts and stuff. So it's been very unique, but it hasn't been too bad.
Right. Sounds like you're at least getting creative with it.
Exactly, yeah.
So the main thing I really want to talk to you about today is you have started a new clothing line, and it's called For the Kingdom. Can you just start by explaining the significance behind that title?
Yeah, so for the kingdom, it actually comes from, I'm a Christian, so that's like a big part of my life and just like my background and everything. I grew up in a Christian home, and just like growing up, we were always taught to like give God the glory through what we do. So there's just a Bible verse that says, whatever you do, do to the glory of God. So just, it's kind of like a motto, I guess, that I would say that I live by, like whether it's in basketball or just like in day to day, like just do it for the kingdom, basically.
And you have
Yeah.
two collections within this clothing line. So one is called the Together Collection and one is called the Empathy Collection. Can you talk about what you're offering in these collections and what it does to represent your initiative?
Yeah, so the Together collection was my first idea that I came up with. I was just like doodling one day on the iPad, and I just like came up with this image of like hands raised up and then just over the word together, just because I think that like the times that we're in right now, like because of COVID and because of just social justice issues that are going on, like it's super important that people are aware and people know that it can't just be one or two people or one race or one group of people just like trying to change things. Like it has to be done together. So I think that that's the most significant thing about that collection. And then the empathy collection, I was actually at a protest in my hometown, and a lady got up there and she started to give a speech, and she said that lots of people use the word with sympathy and empathy synonymously, but sympathy is more of just like to feel sorry for someone or something, but empathy is like to feel and understand and to like walk in the feet of someone else that is like being oppressed or anything like that. So just like trying to change like the culture and the mentality from like, oh, I'm so sorry, to like actually trying to do things and like take action and like really empathize with people. So
And
yeah.
I think what you're doing right now is absolutely honorable, to kind of take action and raise awareness. Everyone knows by this point, what happened to George Floyd was absolutely devastating. So the proceeds from the Together collection is going to his memorial fund, and the proceeds from the Empathy collection are going to the Color of Change organization. Can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit about why you chose that one and how it complements what you're doing as well?
Yeah, so I actually have like the Together collection. It's kind of like split into two sections, I guess. So there's one that's like all black. It's like hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves, and a crew neck. And they're only coming in black. And the back says 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And that was how long that the officer was kneeling on George Floyd's neck. So that's just more of a tribute to him. And all the money from that is going to his memorial fund that his family put together. His funeral was earlier this week, but just I just wanted to continue to donate there because he has kids and everything. And in like their description, it said that it's obviously going to his actual funeral, but also to his family and his kids, just because like they're young and like without a father, like that's going to be really difficult for them. So just going to their estate and just trying to just provide for their family as much as they can now that he obviously can't for them. Yeah, and then the empathy is going empathy, and then like I made like other colors for the Together collection so that it's not all in black. But those are going to the Color of Change as of right now. But I was thinking about changing who was getting the money for that one, just because lots of big names and things like that have been donating to the Color of Change like millions of dollars, and not that they don't need whatever is the final total of the profits that are made. I think that it would be better to donate to a more local organization, just because I know that if someone's donating like $1, $2, $3 million and making an impact, that if people are donating $20 to, I live near Philly, so if someone's donating $20 to a very similar organization that just helps locally in Philadelphia, like $20, like obviously if I can make it a couple $100, like I think that would make more of an impact just to like where I'm from and like my area and everything like that.
Right. I think it's very respectable what you're doing. And your major at UNH is actually recreation management and policy, right? Well, you're being quite
Yes.
the entrepreneur here, starting a clothing line for a very good cause. Can you kind of explain the story behind why you wanted to start a clothing line to raise awareness?
Yeah. So I guess I just really love clothes. I'm like a big hoodie person myself, and I've always just loved making designs and things like that. I like throughout high school, I was taking art classes and AP art my senior year and everything. And when I was a freshman coming into UNH, I really wanted to major in like design studies and things like that, but it wasn't an official major yet. So it was kind of just like put on the back burner, but it's still something that I always did. But I've always like in high school, I would always like make t-shirt designs for our like basketball team for super fan shirts and things like that. I was a part of Young Life and we would make like shirts our senior year. And so I've just always like really liked designing clothes and just like never really doing anything with the money other than just like people buying them to support like our basketball team in high school or something like that. But knowing that this is like making a bigger impact and it's something that can be transferred into things beyond social justice, like mental health, breast cancer awareness, any kind of cancer awareness. Like, I think that's really cool how, like, it's nice to like be able to have a consistent platform rather than just like sporadic different designs and ideas and things like that.
Absolutely. So where can people go on and purchase these sweatshirts and clothing?
They're sold through the website called Bonfire. It was a really, really easy thing to set up. I'm pretty sure if you would just like Google Bonfire for the Kingdom, my store would come up, but it's also in my Instagram bio. I use Linktree, so there's like multiple links in there, and the first one is for that. I'm pretty sure I put it on Twitter too, but I'll double check. But all my social media will have it. So yeah, that's probably the easiest way to find it.
Perfect. Okay. So getting back to UNH, UNH is predominantly a white school. Most of your teammates are white. They and I can't begin to understand what it's like to be a young Black female or male in this world today. What can you do to shed some light on how we can be more aware and also help make a change?
I would say the biggest thing is just like having conversations with people. It's been really cool even now just seeing how many of my teammates or just like friends that I had growing up that were reaching out to me and just like saying like, I want to like find, like, I want a way to help. Like, I want to know like what I can do and things like that. And that's like really, really cool for me to see, because whether it's people that I grew up with or just people that I've played with now in college, it's just really great to see like people actually wanting to make a change and wanting to say like, okay, I know that I can be a part of this. So I just think like starting that conversation with whether it's with like friends that are African American, fellow teammates, or if it's just like your other friends that are not people of color, and you're just like, guys, like this is something we should talk about. Because if you have a certain belief and they don't agree, like whether you're starting that conversation or not, like you're gonna plant the seed in them, and maybe that can make them have a heart change as well. So yeah, I just think like talking and just being active in our communities is probably the biggest thing. Because in high school, my high school reflected UNH pretty well. It's a all white town, basically. Probably less than 5% are people of color. So I grew up in a town very similar to UNH's culture, and I really didn't think twice about it. But now that I'm older, like I'm realizing certain things, and I'm like, okay, like there's definitely more that can be done in these communities and everything like that. So yeah, just talking to people, starting that conversation, I think is huge.
Right. So also being a student athlete, how do you think sports can bring people from all kinds of different backgrounds together?
I just think obviously sports are just a huge part of culture in America. And when athletes are able to use their platforms and use whether it's social media or like before a game when they're running camps and stuff like we would be in the summer, I just think like using the platform that we're lucky enough to have and be given, just using that to want to actively make a change and make a difference on our teams and in our school. And I think specifically at UNH, just having more events and just whether it's fundraising or like having certain games, how we have our spread respect games, like Black History Month games, like things like that, having alumni come back who are people of color, just like talking with athletes, whether it's at like different compliance meetings or just like throughout the year. I think that that would be huge, just because we have such a unique platform, and seeing alumni using their platform and trying to inspire us, I think that would be really great to see.
Right. And if you had a message that you wanted to give just to the UNH community or anyone watching this video right now, what would that message be? What would you want to tell them?
I would just say start conversations with people, like really try to get to know people, know where people are coming from, because not everyone has the same background. Just comparing myself to some people that live in my town, I was lucky enough to never really experience situations of racism or anything like that in my schooling, but there's people that I've known my whole life, and I'm just finding out that they've had certain experiences. So I think that that's huge. And whether it's me or anyone else, just like starting that conversation and like really trying to get to know people and just knowing where they come from and what they've been through. That's probably the biggest thing, just talking to people, trying to start conversations and just truly knowing who people are.
Right. I completely agree with that. And again, I want to say thank you so much for talking with me about this today. I think it's a time where people do need to be more aware and learn more about what's going on. So I appreciate this conversation, and thank you again.
Of course, no problem. Thanks for
Well,
having me.
yes, of course. Take care. Have a great summer. Stay safe, and we'll see you back on campus in the fall.
Thanks.